So, good evening to you all, and thanks for being here today. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Guillem Castañar. I am currently working as a research fellow for the Institute of Cultural Research of the University of Tartu, although I spend most of my time here in the museum. On my last talk, just a week ago, I dealt with some Catalan celebrations, paying special attention to certain elements that are common in all the festivals celebrated in Catalonia. In this last talk, too, I forgot to thank the organizers and the sponsors of this project. So I just thought that it would be good today to start with the acknowledgement section. So thank you for making this series of lectures possible. In today's talk, we will learn a bit about some folklore manifestations, particularly relevant to Catalonia. One, I think, might be known to some of you. It's the tradition of Castellers, as you can see in this photography, or human tower building. The other one is called Sardana, is the name of dance. It has been important historically, has played a significant role, albeit its strength is somehow vanishing as of today. However, as I promised in my last talk, today I wanted to start with something I could not talk about last week, which is some special Christmas celebrations that make Catalonia somehow a bit different than other southern European countries with a Catholic tradition. Well, there are two things that indeed make Catalan Christmas somehow different. The first one is the tradition of the Yule log. Well, the Yule log, of course, is a tradition that exists in many other places. However, the Catalan Yule log, or caga tio, and maybe this caga gives you a hint of what is about to come, is decorated, as you can see in the picture, with one of these red-colored hats, which is the traditional hat of Catalonia. It's called barretina. And by the way, there are some theories that say that come from the Phrygian hat from Northern Europe. But as you can see, the Yule log is decorated with this hat, and also it has eyes, mouth, etc. And, well, it is fed the previous days to the Christmas Eve by the children who stuff straw or dry locust and water into its hollow. On Christmas Eve, the pampering pays off. And the Yule log is hardly beat with a stick while the children sing, demanding it to defecate presents that can be either traditional Christmas sweets or some other kind of presents. This is done. The beating is done while singing a well-known song. I believe that the log, if only for avoiding like a further beating, finally complies and releases the presents. So here in the video, you can take a look at how this tradition takes place.
Joy to the world, the Lord has come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare him room. And heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and heaven and nature.
So the kids are basically beating the Yule log and saying that it should release Christmas sweets and not herrings, because herrings are salty and it is much better to have sweets for Christmas time. Excuse me for a second. The other tradition, it is based on something that it is also highly popular in Southern European Catholic countries. People for Christmas organize this kind of mangers in which you can see the birth of Jesus, and they're indeed very elaborate sometimes. But in Catalonia, people add a figurine known as the crapper, al caganer. Well, I don't know what it is about Catalans and eschatology, but well, there seems to be some connection. And this is a small figurine of a peasant dressed in traditional clothes and in a rather revealing position in the act of relieving himself. This figurine is usually hidden in the manger, and children like particularly to either hide it or look for it in the Christmas mangers. There is something democratic about it, because it has been fashionable for quite a few years already to create these figurines with images of public famous people. This is from last year, I think, and as you can see, you have like your football players from the Real Madrid, Barcelona football clubs, the most important football clubs in Spain. Zelensky is there. So basically, there are the images of well-known public figures. So these are these couple of elements of the Catalan Christmas that I did not have time to share with you on my last talk. But now I would like to go back to the topic of Catalan folklore. And well, we will start with castells. Castells translates as castles. It is an activity that consists in building these human towers. And formerly, these towers were built only by men. Now all genders, ages, backgrounds get involved. They have been declared by UNESCO as intangible cultural heritage. And its origins can be traced to a Valencian dance. Valencia is the region south to Spain, performed on religious holidays about 200 years ago. And then they spread to southern Catalonia. Southern Catalonia is indeed the region where this movement of human tower building is stronger. And in fact, the most important and the most powerful clubs dedicated to human tower building can be now found in southern Catalonia. The practice was considered for a long time backwardish, provincial, rural, but since the 1990s they have gained popularity, mainly because the local Catalan, the regional Catalan television has started paying lots of attention. And also for some reasons that I will reveal very soon. Of course, the people who build these towers received the name of castellers, castle builders, something like this. And I was saying that they are organized in clubs. All these clubs usually wear these white trousers, but they have shirts, different colors. So it's very much like in a sports competition. And you will see that this is not the only similarity to sports that this activity has. It has received attention from television, but also from the regional government. These are some slides that I took from the Department of Culture of the Catalan regional government. You can find it in the references at the end of the presentation. And indeed, it gives some evidence that the activity of building towers is becoming increasingly popular. Here it is celebrating the fact that there are nowadays 100 clubs. We call them collas. Colla is a word that can be roughly translated from band, group, club, cluster of people who are more or less organized towards a certain aim or goal. So in 2016, the 100th club was registered, and it is indeed, kind of a high figure for a small country such as Catalonia, and for something that some people consider to be like a minority activity. And I will now show you, so that you can see how this takes place, a little video in which one of the most important clubs builds one of the highest towers that you can build as a club. So it's achieving some kind of very important goal. If you pay attention to what the commentator says, well, not what the commentator says, because he speaks in Catalan, but I believe that the most important thing is that you understand the passion he puts into broadcasting it, into rendering it. As a native speaker of Catalan, I can easily see that the way he comments on that is as passionate as a football commentator, for example, while broadcasting a match. So now you have a glimpse of it.
Mai en la història aquest castell s'ha vist aquí, a la plaça del Blat de Valls. La Colla Vella l'ha carregat 2 vegades. El vol descarregar. Diuen que la tercera va la vençuda. S'han col·locat els 600 i ara entren els 700 en la seva posició. Els petits que comencen a arrencar. Dosos, aixecador i enxaneta de la Colla Vella dels Xiquets de Valls. Entren els 700, el castell remena, pateixen les manilles, pateixen una miqueta, s'han d'encaixar millor amb els quarts. 700 ja col·locats de la Colla Vella dels Xiquets de Valls. Màxima emoció i tensió d'arrencada de la Diada Castellera de Santa Úrsula 2016. A punt d'entrar els dosos en la seva posició. Un espera l'altre, perquè els dos han d'entrar al mateix temps, per no fer patir l'estructura. Dosos col·locats, es comença a demanar silenci. A punt d'entrar l'aixecadora de la Colla Vella dels Xiquets de Valls. El fa la Colla Vella, una altra vegada, un altre 4 de 10. El carrega, el carrega, el carrega! Sí! 4 de 10 en folre i manilles. I s'assenta, i es pausa, i es col·loca, i es treballa, i el comencen a descarregar, i surt l'enxaneta, i surt la cotxadora, i surt l'aixecadora, i surten els dosos, i sortiran els 700. És el moment clau. Diuen que la tercera va la vençuda. Atenció, que arriba el moment que els ha fallat les altres vegades. La sortida de 700, la Colla Vella ja el té, però no volen deixar passar ni un segon. Descarreguen, descarreguen, descarreguen. Sí, avui sí, avui sí. La tercera va la vençuda. 4 de 10 en folre i manilles. La millor manera de començar la Diada Castellera de Santa Úrsula. Després dels Minyons i els Castellers de Vilafranca, la Colla Vella dels Xiquets de Valls és la tercera colla de la història que descarrega el 4 de 10 en folre i manilles.
Era l'objectiu d'aquest Sant Úrsula i l'assoleix...
Okay. Well, exactly as if the Football Club Barcelona would have scored a goal. Same amount of passion from the commentator. And indeed, lots of viewers, lots of people looking at the show. Because indeed, castells as a performance are quite powerful, and this might explain its popularity nowadays. As pointed out by some authors like Vaxe, the building of human towers, this show, helped significantly at a symbolical level the pro-independence movement that gathered momentum during the 2010s in Catalonia. And castells are indeed linked to Catalonian pro-independence movement, as you can see here. In a crowded arena, they are building one of these towers, and the flags that you can see are the Catalan flags, but they are the independence version of the Catalan flag, so to speak. It's not the officially sanctioned flag by the Spanish state. It has this blue triangle and the white star. And the big sign that you can see at the background in white letters, Volem votar, it means we want to vote. One of the main mottos of the pro-independence movement in Catalonia was for the possibility of organizing a referendum in which the Catalonian people would express their wish, their willing to become an independent nation. The strength of a group, human towers, is not in muscle mass, it's not in physical strength, is not only in training, but also in the number of participating bodies. To start one of these towers, one of these castles, first of all, you need to make a pine cone. And this I'm translating from Catalan, piña, pine. It is a cluster, a group of people that form this base of the human tower, and is also some sort of embodiment of collaboration. But of course, questions arise. Why castells? Why does an independence movement resort to a specific cultural folkloric performance as a mobilization strategy? And why does it discard other folkloric movements, other traditional performances? In the case of castells, the Catalonian movement is believed by some authors who have analyzed this case, chose castells because they somehow embody certain aspects like iconicity, or sociality, affective dimensions. And also it is related to its associational nature and performative values. Associationism, and I am now translating from Catalan, is something very important in Catalan society, activities that gather lots of people, but usually with a certain goal. In Catalonia, for example, groups of organized people going to hike in the mountains are very popular. So this idea of collective sport has been present in Catalonia for already more than 100 years. It became one of the distinctive elements when Catalanism as a political movement started to organize itself in the 19th century. And they relied heavily on this idea of associationism. For example, Catalonia is a place where choirs are kind of popular, way more popular than in other places in Spain, for example. And it is also related to this promotion of associative activities. And of course, its performative values, strength, courage, balance, common sense, I guess these are values that Catalan people would like to identify with. It is also related with inclusivity. Tower building is indeed very inclusive. Among its ranks, in one of these towers, we find people from different backgrounds, ages, genders, education, origin. Number is very important. You need lots of people at the base. So everyone is welcome to join and immediately assigned a role. I guess it has all the benefits, if we think in terms of integration, of any other cheap socializing recreational activity. Since 2008, given the context of economic crisis that we have been suffering in Spain and Catalonia, I think that cheap is an important element to be considered here. Um, the fact that they are open to everybody and the very structure of these castles, I think that it also helps to integration to these movements of inclusivity. As you can see, in order to build one of these castles, heavier people need to be at the base. The higher you get, the lighter the people have to be there. This is why maybe you have realized, although the quality wasn't that good, but in the top there is always a boy or a girl, very young, very, very young. Okay, otherwise no one would make it to the top. And in terms of gender, of course, when in the 80s women fought their way into this world, which it was basically male until that time, it really helped too. Many women are lighter, and when they placed them in the upper positions, they were able to create higher castles. As simple as that. As you can see from the slide, and I won't go into detail, but castells are a highly organized human activity. They have very specific vocabulary for each one of the levels, for the people that participate in each level, etc., etc. But what is maybe interesting to know is that each of these structures has a different name. The name is given by the amount of levels that they have and by the number of people that can be found in each level. If you look at this image, you will see that at the far end, in the right side, you can find the highest ever tower constructed. It has 10 levels. The first time that this construction was erected was in 1998. And since then, only 2 clubs and only twice or 3 times this tower has been built and unbuilt. Because in order to consider that the castle has been built successfully, the climbers have to go up and down without collapsing. This is the rules of the game, so to speak. And well, spectacular as it is, watching these performers to build a tower, it is also quite impressive to see what happens when it collapses. And well, to give you an idea of what am I talking about, I will show you a very brief video of a tower that sadly collapses. So This would be considered only a half achievement. So it has been built but not unbuilt. So somehow it has not been completed. By the way, the music that you listened is always the same while they are building. It's kind of ritualistic. If you listen to this music, you know that one of these sessions of castle building is going on. Made also with traditional instruments. The minutes that I have left, I would like to devote to another manifestation of Catalan folklore. It is a dance. It's called sardana. And it is a bit difficult for me to explain what sardana is, but yeah, let me try it. It's a circular dance with set steps. Men and women join together in a circle by holding hands, holding arms, facing inwards, and steps are taken sideways so that the circle moves sideways. But maybe a short video will illustrate better what I am trying to say. It is also a highly organized dance. The music, which is composed specially for these dances, has several parts, different paces, and the dancers adapt to it. What makes sardana stand out from other dances maybe is the fact that people can and will join a public dance circle at any time. You just need to drop your bag and your coat inside the circle, and you join in. In this way, people of different ages and backgrounds can come together to dance. It has also been highlighted that the fact that it is a circle, which is probably one of the most democratic, less hierarchy shapes. So it also instrumentalizes this idea of inclusion, of equality. Now, the exact origins of the dance are debated. Some Catalan historians say that the first records date from the 16th century. The origin is generally attributed to a dance performed in northern Catalonia, but in any case, it was used during the Renaixença period. Now, since we are talking about Catalan culture, maybe it is interesting for you to know what Renaixença is. Renaixença translates as revival, as rebirth. And it was a romantic movement, romantic in the sense of 19th century Europe, that tried and managed, up to a certain point, to undertake a revival of the Catalan culture and language, which had been severely damaged the previous century after the War of Succession in Spain at the beginning of the 18th century. Catalonia simply backed the royal candidate of the House of Habsburg, and they were defeated. So the new Spanish king, Philip V, from the royal lineage of the Bourbons in France, decided to punish the defeated, and in the case of Catalonia, he approved very strict laws that supposed a severe blow on the development of the Catalan language and culture. So it was only after more than a century later that the Catalonian society, basically the bourgeois elite, managed to reorganize itself. And well, this reflourishing of the culture started again. Nevertheless, of course, in the appropriation of a traditional dance, Catalans were not original. Many authors describe the sardana as an invented tradition, invented in the sense of Hobsbawm and Ranger, famous book of invented traditions. And well, they simply make an appropriation of existing dances and label them national. However, and this I mixed. However, as I have mentioned before, it was conceived as a democratic dance that anyone can join in, and it condensed values that at that time were highly appreciated by the nationalistic Catalan bourgeoisie: harmony, democracy, brotherhood, simplicity, community. It became a national symbol, and it was even attributed origins of a far distant past. But however, this same author, Martí Pérez, a specialist in the history of sardana, it somehow became frozen and stiff. Frozen and stiff as the monuments that are devoted to it nowadays. And in fact, authors such as Zweig, well, have described sardana nowadays as a very rigid and conservative dance, and indeed, the interest for the dance is decreasing. Zweig, not sure that I entirely agree with the author, but calls it the dance of a national minority. In any case, sardana is not as popular as Castells currently in Catalonia, and it does not have the international projection that Castells have. Castells, for example, have associations, clubs in other countries. Catalans who live abroad gather and create clubs of human tower building, but they do not create clubs of sardanas. So I think this is a good example of the vitality of each tradition. And here, I'm very sorry because I messed up with the slides, but I just wanted to finish my talk by somehow placing sardanas and castells face to face and establish certain comparisons between them. And well, I believe that although castells and sardanas both aim at representing core Catalan values, they also differ in the set of values that they want to attach to the Catalan people. Castells are more about probably teamwork, effort, achievement. I would even say that there's something about physical achievement, sport achievement in them. Sardana is more about probably the leveling of social differences. There is also something related to openness and closeness about these two manifestations. As I have said, castells do pretty well all around the world. They are broadcasted. They somehow get the attention of viewers, of passerbys. Sardana, not that much. And even some authors want to see in the closeness of this circle certain difficulties to join, to get in. Sardana did a very good job during Franco's times as an act of resistance to cultural invasion by the Franco regime, but somehow it has not managed to survive, to adapt to the new times. However, there are certain similarities. First of all, this idea of associationism that I have elaborated on before. Both Castells and Sardanas promote a very healthy competitivity. Of course, there is a competition, of course, there is a winner, but I believe that both activities are more about making a civic use of the public sphere as an excuse or as a motivation to gather, to be together, to enhance this sense of community. And I also believe that two of them are interesting in terms of integration. But in the end, well, Sardana, despite having been considered as a national dance in Catalonia, have not gained the popular and media appreciation that Castells have. To finish with, well, I think we can say that Castells and Sardanas are both human movement phenomena of high political relevance in different times. Both are linked either to historical or current political developments in Catalonia. They both underscore the importance of unity, of team building. They are powerful in transmitting the desired auto-stereotypes of the community. And they use performance as a vehicle for constructing national consciousness. For some time in the 19th century, the Castells and the Sardana competed for which would become the nationalist elite's performance of choice. Sardana won back then, being more in line with the ethics and aesthetics of the social class. Castells, however, proved extremely efficient in the contemporary political theater arena, and I believe that this is probably what accounts for their comeback and current success. And well, this is all for today. Thank you very much for your attention. These are my references, and I just simply would like to thank you all for your attention and for being here today.